Nicole Scott here from Mobile Geeks, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison of two LG smartwatches. Their brand new smartwatch, the Urbane, which is currently the most expensive Android Wear smartwatch on the market, and the LG Watch R. Let's start off with the specifications because these guys actually have a lot in common. Both have 1.3-inch circular POLED displays with a resolution of 320 by 320, giving them a PPI of 245. Under the hood, a Snapdragon 400 processor at 1.2 GHz with 4 GB of storage and 512 MB of RAM. When looking at battery life, they're going to be identical because they both have a 410 mAh battery. If you're looking to get them wet, there's an IP67 rating, meaning that you can use it for 30 minutes in up to 1 meter of water. Now there are actually quite a few differences, not only on the surface, but in the software as well. Let's start off by looking at the display. The Urbane is rocking a Gorilla Glass 3 instead of a plastic display that we have here on the LG Watch R. Now this display, it's 320 by 320 and it is a POLED display. Now what this means is that we're going to have deep inky blacks, bright vivid colors, great viewing angles. So you can see that on the side it doesn't wash out at all. Now the battery efficiency on this is going to be fantastic because of the OLED technology, because this means that it only needs to light the pixels that it's showing. So right now everything's quite black, and the only thing that's on is this white part. Another difference between the Urbane and the R is, well, the height. Even though the Urbane has flattened out the bezel, it is actually a little bit thicker, 10.9 millimeters versus the 9.7 on the Watch R. Now, if we take a look at these two devices, they're aesthetically quite different. The Urbane is definitely a lot more unisex, while the R is well, it's got that kind of diver watch style, kind of a little bit more sporty. But aesthetically, you can see that they've definitely flattened out the bezel, whereas this one kind of has a raised lip. They flattened this one out a lot more. And this is great because when using the Watch R, you definitely had to go down the side, right? Which didn't make the display as easy to interact with. Whereas on here, you slide right over and it's actually very comfortable. On the back, you can see that we have the same pin connectors, heart rate monitor, but the LG Watch R there, at the top you can see there are screws, and the Urbane actually has a screwless assembly. Now another huge difference between these two devices is, well, the version of Android Wear. The Urbane is rocking the latest version, which has an app launcher. So we just push in that side button, and you can see that we can go to call, we have fitness, so this can easily launch the apps that we have. If you hit call, you can see that there's an easy dialer here. Holding down the button on the side brings up the settings, so we can adjust the brightness, Bluetooth, always on, airplane, power, reset, change the watch faces. So this is running Android 5.0. Now taking a look at the settings on the Urbane, there are a lot of other options. So we can change the font size, wrist gestures, so we can gesture our wrist back in order to go through apps. Wi-Fi settings is also different. Now you don't need to rely on Bluetooth in order to get updates to the watch. Now this is something that won't be updated on the Watch R. This is only going to be on the Urbane. Now the always on screen, accessibility, this has a magnification gesture. Now all of these are actually going to be heading onto the Watch R as soon as it gets the update. So you can see here that this is running the latest version of Android Wear at 5.1. Something else that's new in Google, if we decide to take a note, we can draw an emoji. So here's a heart. So what did you guys think? Are you a fan of the LG Watch R or the Urbane? Now I'm going to weigh in as a lady here and say that you're definitely not going to be picking up the LG Watch R. It is just way too masculine. Even the Urbane is a little bit chunky, but it's stylish enough that it can be a chunky kind of watch design statement. So I'm going to say, if you're a woman, you're definitely going to be picking up the Urbane, even if it is going to cost you a little bit more. But you guys let me know in the comments which one you would buy and why. I mean, the Urbane is definitely more expensive, but I'm willing to pay a little bit more for the aesthetic. If you guys liked this video, give us a big old thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you can hit that subscribe button right over here. I'm Nicole Scott for Mobile Geeks.